Hi, Ready. Welcome to week 2. I'm excited for our work this week. Look, here's Joy. She's excited too. That's Joy being excited. So I'm really looking forward to learning together this week. And what we're going to do this week, we're going to be working on privilege and getting a definition of privilege. So let me talk through some of the important things that are in Blackboard and some of the important things we're working on. So here's the week 2 folder. There's everything that you need is on the top of the folder, but also inside. So I'm going to go ahead and go inside the folder. And inside the folder, you have a video. And one of you shared this video as part of your introduction, and I was so excited to see it. I'm really glad that this is something you know. Others of you may also have seen it. I really like this video because it shows that race is a big part of privilege, but that our ideas about privilege are not only about race, that privilege works in other ways as well. Like it has a lot to do with economic inequality, as we saw in some of our work last week. So take a look at that video. And the other thing you're going to be doing, or one of the other things you're doing, is reading an article about a system of privilege, how privilege works as a system, and you're going to be annotating that article. Now, annotating is a really, really important thing to be able to do in college. Annotating helps you read more efficiently. It helps you understand what you're reading better. It helps you connect with the text and get a lot more out of your reading. And since in college you have to read all the time, it's really good to get comfortable with annotating. There's no one right way to annotate. And over the course of the semester, I want you to try different ways of annotating and figure out a way that works for you. So this week, I'm giving you a video that actually goes through System of Privilege, the article you have for this week, and shows you how to annotate it. There's also a Word document in here. You can click right here to download it. And you can use that Word document and do your annotating on that Word document, and that I hope will make it a little easier for you to annotate System of Privilege. And I'm also in a minute going to show you a web tool called Hypothesis that you can use to annotate websites. You don't have to use that, but I'm going to show it to you. So we're working on annotating this week, and all semester we're going to work on annotating. Next week, I think I'm going to make you turn in your annotations. But this week, you're going to do a discussion board post on them. So for your discussion board post, you're going to choose 2 things that you annotated. That's 2 things that you highlighted or underlined. And it could be something that you understood and you thought was really important, or something you had a question about and you need to talk about with the rest of the class, or just something that you really connected with. So you're going to share that in the discussion board, actually put the quote in there in quotes, and you're going to respond to 2 other people. And the responding is really, really important. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how to do that effectively. And I was thinking that one way that you might be able to get better at discussion board posts and better at class discussion and really better at just like being a good person and a good listener is with active listening skills. So I'm going to come over here. Here's a website about active listening, and you can Google active listening yourself if you want to find out more. But have you ever talked to somebody and you can tell that they're just not listening to you? You know, like you can look at their eyes and you know they're not listening to you, or they're just like whatever, you know, and it just makes you feel awful and you don't have a very good conversation. Or, you know, that person who everything you say, all they can do is talk about themselves, you know, and you'll be like, oh, I broke my leg this morning. And they'll be like, oh, I broke my leg, you know, whatever, like, and it's just not a satisfying conversation. A better way to connect with people is with active listening, which is actually really simple. And here are some of like this says the features of active listening. Okay, so active listening means you're not judging. You're not like figuring out what you think or making a decision about what somebody else is saying. It means that if you're like actually verbally speaking, you give the person room to talk and you don't interrupt. You show that you're listening. Right? Like that could be, if you're actually like in a physical conversation, that's your body language. You ask questions, and questions may be something like, oh, you just said you broke your leg. Tell me more about that. Or you just said you feel really angry. Tell me more about that. Or you just said this reminds you of something. What do you think about that? Or it could be a specific question like, what do you mean by segregation? What do you mean by privilege? I'm sorry, segregation is on my mind for other reasons. What do you mean by privilege? What do you mean by people being unequal, right? You might ask questions like that. You can also reflect back what somebody has said. So you could say a comment you might make on somebody's discussion board post might be something like, you said da 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 da. It sounds like you mean da 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 da, right? Or do you mean? And you put the other person's words in your own word to see if you're really understanding, to see if you're really connecting. You can ask for clarification. That's that idea of like, what do you mean by this? Or I'm not sure I understand, right? Or you can just summarize. So you might take somebody else's Blackboard post and say, it sounds like you said this, or it looks like you're saying this, and sum it up and say, am I right? Am I understanding that? So those are some ways that you can interact with each other more effectively on the discussion board and have richer conversations. And that's something you can also do just in life in general. So you're going to do your discussion board post. And then the last thing you have is a system of privilege reflection assignment. And that's in here in the week 2 folder. Okay. I'll come back to that sample body paragraph in just a minute. So to download the assignment, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to actually download the assignment, and it's going to download as a document. Click here where it says SOP reflection assignment. You click there and the document will download. And then you can open it up and all the instructions are there, and you can type your responses right there. When you turn it in, click here where it says privilege reflection assignment. You click there. And then this is called a Dropbox. A Dropbox will open up. You come right down here. This gives you the assignment again, just so you have it. You click Browse Local Files, and you can upload your version of the file that you just downloaded a few minutes ago. And then you click Submit. It's down here on the left. Let me see if I can move over. There we go. You click Submit, and that's how you're going to turn it in. If you have any questions about how that works, or if it doesn't work for you, or you have any problems with that, just let me know. But let me just go back and show you one more time. So here is where you click to download the document that you're going to complete to do this assignment. And here is where you're going to click to then upload that document once you've completed it. And in this document, you're writing a paragraph about your own personal connection with privilege. So there's also a document here about how to write a paragraph. Some of you may be really comfortable with writing paragraphs and maybe you don't need this reminder. Some of you may be like you've been out of college for a long time, or you never really felt comfortable writing and you want to know that you're doing this the way that it's commonly done in college. So there's this document here that breaks down how a paragraph works. So use that as a guide for what that paragraph about your own personal connection with privilege works. Okay, I hope I said that right. Okay, so that's this week. Please let me know if you have any questions. I will see you in class. Oh, I changed the class times. Please make sure you check the announcements that you see that we have new class times. All right, I look forward to seeing you.